Aloha! Welcome to Chappy's Tiki Bar. We got a great episode today. We're heading in the kitchen and making some Detroit-style pizza. Of course, that's a square pizza, and it originated from the trays that they used in the automobile factories to hold parts and catch the oil. And somebody got the idea to use those trays as the vessel to cook a pizza. Anyways, first up we're gonna make a drink. This is a Donn Beach Comber drink. I'm getting this from the book Smuggler's Cove by Martin Kate. It's called a Pupule, which was later renamed the Nui Nui. And this is from Donn Beach Comber from the mid 1930s. I'm getting it from the book Smuggler's Cove. The source is Beach Bum Berries Sippin' Safari, adapted by Smuggler's Cove. Anyways, so I'll put the drink recipe up. I've already made the drink. I'll put the drink recipe up on the screen there. So it's 2 ounces of aged rum, 3/4 ounces of fresh lime, 3/4 ounces of fresh OJ, a dash of Angostura bitters, 1/4 ounce of cinnamon syrup. That's just like a simple syrup, and you put a cinnamon stick in it, and 1/4 ounce of vanilla syrup. I just substituted a little bit of vanilla extract, and 1/4 ounce of St. Elizabeth All Spiced Dram. This is a product of Jamaica. It's made by macerating allspice berries, which are very popular in Jamaica. The berry is also called pimento in Jamaica and gets its modern name from its flavors of clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, and pepper. And this is a nice, very refreshing, spicy drink with sort of a Jamaican theme to it. Just give it a little try. Fantastic. All right, let's go make a pizza. All right, so we got a giant bowl to mix everything up, because I'm going to knead it in the bowl, because we got a hydration rate of 75%, which is going to make it difficult to knead. It's going to be very sticky, and we're just going to sort of do a gentle kneading in the bowl. Anyways, I got 300 grams of bread flour. Now we're just going to add half. Let's do the water first. So we got 225 milliliters of water. When it comes to water, milliliters equals grams. So I'm going to keep all the measurements in grams. Just remember, it's just for water. If you do milk or oil, it has a different density or weight, and 225 grams does not equal 225 milliliters of milk or oil, but it does of water. But I digress. And this is warm water around high 90s, 100 degrees. And we're just going to add that into the bowl. And then I got the 300 grams of bread flour. I'm just going to add half of that. So we're going to save 150 grams. We got the 300, or total 300. So this is about 150 grams of flour. And then I just got some dry active yeast. We're going to go 3 teaspoons of the dry active yeast, and then 15 grams of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to mix it up a little bit before we add the salt. You can already see the yeast is starting to work, so we know it's not dead. And then this is 6 grams of salt. I got sea salt today. And then we're going to add the rest of the flour. And then we're just gonna hopefully get this into a shaggy ball. And then we're gonna let the shaggy ball rest for 5 minutes, and then we're just gonna knead it in the bowl. Gotta get it together though first. And yeah, it's very wet and sticky. All right, we're just gonna, before we knead it, we're gonna let the flour absorb the water. We're just gonna cover it. I'll be back in say 10 minutes to give it a good kneading, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge overnight. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, we're back. My dough is hydrated. We're just going to knead it in the bowl for 5 minutes. It's very sticky, so you can do this sort of stretch and pull. So stretch, turn, sort of stretch, turn, stretch, turn. As long as you're working the dough, you don't have to sort of go to town on kneading it. All right, this is going in the fridge for up to 24 hours. We're just going to do it overnight. Thanks for watching another episode of Chappy's Tiki Bar. Make sure you hit that notification bell. We got a new episode every Friday. This is Chappy saying life is hard. That's just the way it goes, but sometimes it goes the other way. See you next time on Chappy's Tiki Bar.